I'm Pern.
And I'm Dave.
Welcome to the show, where we talk about everything from movies, music, sports, and TV.
And stories from the rest of our lives.
Things we don't talk about are politics and religion.
And this is how we all stay friends.
Okay, let's talk. All right, so how was your week?
Well, okay. Normal. Like with work and everything, nothing exciting happened. We had the snowstorm on Saturday. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. There wasn't much else going on.
The week went pretty quick, I think.
Right.
Oh my God.
You're amazing at knocking that over.
Oh my gosh. It's because I forgot it was sitting there. I forgot we have a timer.
Thump,
we need to put
thump,
like right there. So I'm knocking it over.
I'm sure you'll get to it somehow.
Something on the desk.
Somehow. You'll touch something on the desk and it'll domino
shake and
over
fall
to it
over
and fall over.
And be
exactly.
like on the ground.
There we go.
On the ground.
So fast then, huh?
Yes, fast week. It just went by really quick. There was, like I said, we had snow on Saturday, which we had more here than you had there.
Yeah, the mountains.
In your area. So,
yeah.
But yeah, it was like it just covered everything. And it was like, it's white. Now why couldn't we have this at Christmas?
Right. But then
like, even if it was like,
but on
leftover
Sunday,
stuff,
right? It disappeared or
pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like the driveway, we'd like plowed just like a single path for, because we have an incline on our driveway.
Right.
And then, that was gone by the next day. And so, and then, but
I mean, driving
grass,
up here,
so
all the chunks are just like where the plows made a lot of it.
Right.
So that was the only way it was going to be around. And I don't even think, when I'm going home, I mean, a lot of it's probably going to be gone because the rain is just washing it away.
I know it was raining all day and we still, because it just formed ice on top of it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
like,
right. But we never got above,
now.
it's like 50 some degrees outside now.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like a total change. And I'm just, the way the system is.
Right.
We're weather files, so we're kind of always watching it, and we're on the apps, and we're checking all the weather and making sure that because she has the greenhouse, and and we have the vegetables that are always growing.
Are you going to put a new wing on the greenhouse?
So no, what's going to happen is that we have the deck off the back of the house. And you've seen it. It's basically just a rectangle or a square, right? It's a little bigger than normal decks should be.
Right.
She wants to put some plantings on there.
Right.
And then those plantings were going to be like herbs and things, like things that we don't have to go all the way to the greenhouse, which is like behind over up on the top of the hill, away from the house. We don't have to go so far to get like herbs and like rosemary, oregano, that kind of crap.
Right.
Things that she's keeping alive right now, and basil. They're all out there right now, but I got to go so far to get it and ship it all back. And that's fine, but it's just a pain in the ass. So she said she was going to try to do some things closer towards the house. So we can have them right at the kitchen. Then in the winter, she would just
boxes.
Winter some. We'll winter them some. So she's going to buy new boxes. They're 8x3 or something. They're like really long, but they're thin. So they're going to sit in the corners, like on the sides and on the corners behind all the furniture that we have. And then a small little greenhouse on the side. So that will actually be the herb greenhouse.
Gotcha.
And the other greenhouse is going to have everything where she's going to start seeds for the spring. So, it's a whole process.
And then just like never show back up and let everything die like in our Lego Fortnite world.
Okay, hey, did it all die?
Mr. Gardner?
Is that what happens?
No.
Okay.
No, I've been tending to it.
Oh, but is that really what happens out there?
Yes.
Oh my God, I didn't know.
Grass
I put the wheat
and weeds start growing up into the floorboards of the house when nobody comes in.
Are you kidding?
Dead serious. Like I'll log in and I'll go in and it's just like, oh, look, there's grass coming through our floor. Oh, because nobody's been here for
what happens though? How do you get rid of it? You just
walk over it.
Oh.
And then like you step on it and then it goes away because then the floor's like, oh, somebody was here. Okay.
Yeah, but then the fucking tree that you destroy keeps growing back through
3
the
times
goddamn garden
goes through the.
Wow, this is a tangent. But
it is.
So,
it is Lego Fortnite.
Right. Okay. So but now we put in new areas in the yard. You haven't been out in a while, but on February or January when you come pick me up, you'll see.
You mean next Tuesday?
It's not next Tuesday, is it?
It is next Tuesday.
Oh, motherfucker. Oh, God, I got to. It's in the schedule. So it's in the schedule. Anyway. Oh, so we're going to do this on the road.
Exactly. We're just going to record it on
Just
our
record
phones.
in the car. I'll be driving, so it'd be cool. You just work the
have
board.
Tristan moaning in the back.
God. Okay, cool. Well, that's perfect. That actually works great. No, so we've added more beds, little areas where we've just laid the rock down and we just have to plant. So it's been a little while, but in the back, there's going to be an orchard where she wants to put in a bunch of dwarf trees where they're not like 8-10 foot trees.
Angry?
They're dwarf. Yeah, not angry dwarfs. No.
They'd be angry.
They won't be angry dwarfs. They'll
Angry
be nice
dwarf orchard.
They'll be sweet.
Is that a new drink?
Sweet, pleasant dwarfs. Well, what happened is all the different fruits, they graft them onto small trees, and those trees don't grow as big as their counterparts, their originals.
Okay.
They're basically just mini versions of the same thing, and they're going to fruit, and they're going to have all this stuff. So be prepared, because I'll probably every Tuesday I might bring a canned something or other, because I have canned apples already. I should bring some because they're just sitting out there, where I made canned apples. But I also have canned banana peppers.
Can you make apple pies out of the canned apples?
Of course. And you can do the strudel. Sydney loves making the strudel.
Oh, yeah. That with
she'll
the
just
thin,
do the,
the
you
crust.
just get the,
you can buy the roll of it.
Crap. Yeah, exactly. So easy. There's no reason to, have your grandmother's recipe for apple pies. You just go get it, and then you just basically fill in the middle, fold it over, like cut them into strips, fold the strips over, and then just cook it like regular. Right. And it's a great little quick dessert, but it's also, a strudel kind of thing. Right. She loves it. She does it all the time.
Have you seen, we were at Costco today, have you seen the chicken pot pies that are like the same size as the pumpkin pies?
The regular pies or the chocolate pie that they're giving away now. Those things are massive.
Oh, and it's like, and I looked at it.
It's as big as a hubcap,
and
for God's sake.
And the sign is very misleading because it says $3.99. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, their pumpkin pies are only $5.99
per pound.
Per pound. And the average price of one is like $23.
Yes.
And I'm just like,
yes, but it can feed a family of 20 though.
It can.
The thing is huge.
I like chicken pot pie, but I'm like,
do you like it
that's a lot of chicken pot pie. It's the same size as the Costco pumpkin pie.
5 meals? And then by that time, it's like, well, I'm sick of it.
You could be eating chicken pot pie all week
but
for
it's
dinner.
Not like
and
you
I
can
love the chicken pot pies, but
into quarters and then cook it later, like you could with some other stuff. You know?
You still have to cook it as a whole.
You got to cook the whole damn thing.
Here we go. Put it in the oven.
Here's your. Unless you could figure it out, but they don't freeze them. Right? They're not pre-frozen.
No, they're fresh. So they need to go in the oven like probably that night or the next day or something.
Yeah, there's a date.
You can keep it in the fridge a couple days. Yeah,
and then
it's like
once it's cooked, you got to eat it in that amount of time too. So
yeah,
if you don't have a family,
I don't think I can
14,
invest in that.
Tough.
Right?
Well, look at my mom. My mom lives alone. We go to Costco all the time. She barely buys stuff at the Costco because, of course, it comes in.
Yeah, those huge sizes. So it's like, and she doesn't.
Unless she really likes it, she's going to have to be eating on it. Or it's, the bagged stuff. Like sometimes she gets the, there's these, good Christ, what the hell are they? For coffee, they're little dunkable things.
Donuts?
No, try again. They're the biscotti. God, Jesus.
Oh,
why did it take so much to
biscotti.
get that?
I don't know.
But then they're individually wrapped.
Krispy Kreme has biscotti Krispy Kremes right now. Yeah.
God, I wish we had a Krispy Kreme around here.
Hagerstown.
Fuck.
45 minutes. That's the closest one.
For you, it's closer to me.
Oh, right. Well,
it was only half an hour when we went that one time on donut day. Daughter and I went out.
Gotcha.
And we got our free donut.
Well, maybe if we get out of the Caps game early enough next Tuesday, we can stop by the Krispy Kreme in DC.
How much was that for the dozen? Well, I'm going to have to. If we do it,
it's like $15 or something.
I'm okay. I've already gotten the go ahead to get a couple dozen every time we
because you didn't bring them home last time.
Oh God!
He sends a picture to his daughter of us in Krispy Kreme standing there. We're all looking goofy, like we're getting fresh Krispy Kremes.
We had the hats on.
With the hats on.
Oh my God!
He sends it to his daughter, his adult daughter, and then when he gets home, he doesn't have anything. And she's like,
where the hell is Mom?
Where's
God damn it!
Where are the donuts?
Fucking when did we get home? It was like 12. She was
waiting. And she was waiting because she was waiting for the donuts.
For the damn donuts.
And you didn't get your daughter donuts.
They're all ready to go for donuts.
Well, I'm glad you're cleared now to buy a couple dozen.
If I don't, I think then I'm not allowed to come home.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I think they close at 10, so we'll have to see if we get out of the Caps game. But it's only 10 minutes from.
Yeah, it's right.
If we get out, if we hustle out.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's a Tuesday though. Do they close earlier on Tuesday?
No, it's 10 o'clock, I think, every night, and then 11 o'clock on Friday,
later on the
Saturday.
Fridays, yeah.
I think so.
Okay, I can think
but
that.
we can hopefully make
I would
it be
think
fine.
that they would just want to work the bar scene and just have, snack day.
Gotcha. Yeah, I agree.
Right? I mean, I would. I mean, if I was making money, I would feed the masses whenever I could.
Oh, yeah. So,
But cool.
So do you watch the Golden Globes?
I did not.
Okay, I've never watched a Golden Globes.
Yes.
Ever.
And
I
is it
just
hard to watch, Joe? Or what is never his name? The comic that had-
I've seen one of his Netflix
were
or
not
something
good.
one time, and it was like he's funny. He's a funny guy. And then it was I don't know, then there was the comment that he made about the Taylor Swift thing.
Yes.
That
Which then kind of put him on thin ice.
right,
From that point
exactly,
on,
because
right?
God forbid anybody say
Heaven
anything about
forbid.
the lovely Taylor Swift,
Well,
the
Jesus
beautiful, stunning.
If she had giggled or even like, kind of played it off, it would have been a different scene.
Right. Yeah.
But she got offended.
Right.
Right. So
Like you got to roll with it. And she seems like the type of person that would just roll with it because
I don't know why it didn't seem like it was that bad of a. It
Right.
was an awful joke.
So do you
but
know-
it didn't seem like it was offensive or anything.
right.
It wasn't
right.
like a hooker comment or anything like
Yeah,
that based
right.
on her
And-
outfit. I mean, come on.
And it was it was a joke of like I don't know. I thought it was slightly amusing because
Right.
it's true.
It's true.
There
Exactly.
was
right.
a Kansas City game I watched earlier this season, and I forget the wide receiver that caught it for the touchdown for the Chiefs, and the camera crews immediately went to Travis Kelce, and he was on the other side of the play, away from it. And he's like, pumping his fist in the chair. And I'm like, what about the guy that just
actually
scored the
caught
touchdown?
the damn touchdown, right.
But if Travis Kelce wasn't dating Taylor Swift right now,
He wouldn't have had a camera time.
and why would one person still just be on him when this guy's totally out of the play?
You got to think that
And
they
it's
have
like-
a camera on this guy all the time, just in case he does do something.
and-
then it's over to Taylor so we can reel
Oh,
in the
see,
young crew,
the reaction.
right?
and-
I mean, that's kind of what they got. So then they just had camera time. So they had to
Right.
fill it, and they had Kelsey sitting there.
Well,
on
Taylor
a
wasn't at
camera.
that game. I don't think
that's
either.
probably
So
what it was.
that-
Oh, so the next best is to just get
yeah,
Kelsey's
just get a
reaction no
shot
matter
because
what.
then immediately you'll think of Taylor
She'll
Swift.
just be, oh,
Absolutely.
yes, I remember
and it's like,
now.
oh,
There's a
right,
tie-in.
Travis, Taylor. God,
Yes.
oh, God,
I get
yes.
it. I get it.
Yes.
That's why he's on. No. But that being said, I did not watch any of it because the award shows are, I don't know, hard to watch, I guess.
I stopped watching award shows, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. And when I'm at work, I work nights. So when we have TVs in our lobby, I'll put them on. I'll put it on just because, like, people coming through want to watch. Or there's like always, that one girlfriend that came out to the game and got really bored with watching her boyfriend play hockey. So she
sitting
wants to go
out in
sit out
front
in the
of
lobby
the-
and watch the
yeah,
Oscars.
It's on.
Or the Grammys or the, whatever.
Like we don't have a
I
phone.
put it on, but I don't watch it. I don't even. I don't know. I used to really be into it, and then I'm
I
not
used to
anymore.
when I worked at the Army, which was like 10 or 15 years ago. I used to actually print out the ballots. We'd fill out the ballots, and then we would hold like bets on who would be better at the end of the night.
Right.
When we came in the
And
next
who would-
morning, we'd be able to compare scorecards. No, not now.
Right.
I don't care because again, I don't know about movies anymore. I mean,
before we had kids, we would, watch. We wouldn't watch all the nominees for Best Picture, but we would, like if we hadn't seen something, go, oh, we want to see that. We wanted, and like if we'd seen a couple of the other ones, but hadn't seen something.
it's an investment
Whatever.
of time too.
It
man.
is.
I mean, come on and think about it.
Did you see the Barbie movie?
I did. And I did
I
like
liked it.
I did like it. It was very, very interesting.
Right.
I do believe that it had an appeal to everyone.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
I felt it was very male bashy, I guess. But again, I
Well,
think
it
that
was
was the
girl
campiness
power.
of it all. Yeah. And then that was the campiness of it
there
all.
was campiness that, yeah, absolutely.
Of the men of taking on the role. But
Right.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it was. But I went and saw it with 4 women, Lisa and all of the barn women.
Oh, right.
And
The
I was
barn
at
women.
and in the
It's like sounds like somebody's like trapped.
the barn women,
The barn
exactly,
women.
the barn women, Handmaid's Tale or Handmaid's Tale, and then over at I am the worst at coming up with words. I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The theater we went to was the starts with an A. Alamo.
Alamo. Right.
Yeah. So we went
Alamo
to the
Cinnamon
Alamo.
Draft
So there
House.
was alcohol involved, but the entire crowd was very scaled towards women
Right.
and girls, like little girls. So
So
I
our
was like,
theater was the same.
yeah,
When we saw
right,
it. Yeah.
yeah. So I was almost uncomfortable being there.
Oh,
when they
right,
had
because
certain conversations.
The
when they were
male woman to male
complaining.
ratio.
The soliloquy that the one main character had that
Right.
was about how,
Everybody's seen the Barbie movie. Yes, everybody knows.
yeah. But again, I was just like, well, that's totally true. And I get it. But I was very uncomfortable
Gotcha.
because I was completely surrounded by women. And I just felt like the stares, like I was one of the only men that could take on the wrath of the women
Right.
that were inside the
To see
theater, just waiting to get popcorn hailed on me or something. Who
Right.
knows?
Yeah.
Drink on my neck. Who knows? But yeah.
So anyway, so I didn't watch the Golden Globes at all,
Right.
Or even the Oscars. Or I don't sit down and watch any of them anymore.
No.
I mean, I'll just like see
I'll
who
see it
won,
after.
and I'll be like,
Yeah.
okay, whatever, and then
What they're wearing.
So yeah, and
The red carpet.
I don't even care
And
about
even
that
then.
anymore. I've just gotten old. I've turned into that grumpy old man, finally, that cranky.
Well,
Stay off my lawn.
the only one time that I really liked seeing the red carpet was when Matt Stone and Trey Parker came out as.
Oh yeah, because you never knew what they were going to wear, and then
No,
yeah,
but that one
then
time
he's
when they wore the
wearing
dresses.
he's wearing the JLo dress.
Yeah, that was
he had
amazing.
the JLo dress.
That
and
was kind of amazing. Yes, and that was just, and the funniest part was how they played that off. Like it was just like it was nothing.
right.
But yeah,
But that was the year they got nominated for best song
Yes,
for Oscar for best
And,
for best
Robin
original
Williams sang
song
that
or
one.
and it was
that was amazing. That was amazing.
And then
too.
they didn't win.
No,
Yeah.
and I was just like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
But I kind of was not going to happen. I have a feeling.
Right. Which I don't understand why there has to be so much politics in entertainment.
Right. Well, that's I think why Oppenheimer's going to win and Barbie isn't. So
Gotcha.
Let's see how that goes.
Gotcha. Well, I didn't see Oppenheimer.
I haven't either because again, and I probably will at some point. Maybe I don't know. It depends.
So the Oscar nominations are out now, right?
Are they? No, I don't think so.
Oh no,
They're
maybe
not-
it's like
they're
the
after
13th
Globes,
or
right?
something like that. Yeah, maybe it's later
'cause
this
it's
week.
Later. It's
Those
later in
nominations come
January,
out.
So yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, we'll have to actually maybe keep track of that this year. Now.
I think we will have to
And see.
because
I'm not watching 10 movies though, just to see. Yeah. Just I saw that one and blah blah blah. So
yeah. So, but we're going into 2024, and the prospects don't look great.
no,
for new movies.
No,
So
I mean, with the
don't
writer's
know.
strike last year, I mean that really.
Well,
Yeah.
it pushed everything out, but we're seeing everything that should have been like the holidays being released, or
Right.
at least, that kind of stuff. So we're about 3 to 5 months behind schedule on releases because now they don't want to release something in the middle of January and February.
Right, and that
so
was
they're going to push it till spring and late.
Right.
Late
Well,
spring into
they could just do like they did with Top Gun. They pushed it 2 years, like because of COVID. Like we're not going to release it, so we're going to push it 2 years, and then it comes out. And you saw the Top Gun movie,
Oh my
right?
God, I did not, but I understand that.
Oh,
it
you
was
didn't?
kind of somewhat
Oh.
amazing as far as the movie itself. But
Wow, maybe you should put that one on your list to watch,
oh,
and then
really?
we'll discuss it.
Really?
Because I've
Okay,
got
well, let's put a pin in that one.
we're going to
because
come back to
it
Top
sounds
Gun
like
Maverick.
you have some flavors to that you need to express. So
Yeah, definitely. That's one that we can come back to Top Gun Maverick at a later date. So
At a
tune
later
in
date.
for
Definitely
Top Gun
for
Maverick.
Maverick, yes, when we discuss
our
entertainment
review
again.
2 years after it was finally released. We're going to review that hot off the presses. We just saw the
there it
screening of it.
And that's also because I can't get my shit together and actually watch them in the theater because there's just too
same.
much to invest into.
I don't watch anything until it streams now because I'm like, if I'm already paying this much money for 26 different streaming services,
We might
then
as well
I
wait
should.
when it's on HBO kind
I'll
of
just wait
scenario.
till it's on Max or
back
wait
in the
Disney
day
Plus
when they
or
just
wait.
waited till it came around.
Yeah, I'll wait because it's a 3 month
get there.
window. So when movies are released in the theater, from their release date in the theater, it's typically a 90-day window, or maybe a 100 to 120-day window that it comes out on, well, what used to be video, like came out on video, for streaming services, yes, and be available for. And now movies are even coming out even faster. It'll be like out of theaters, and it'll be like 2 weeks later, and be like, oh, hey, now.
And now we've got to, they got to make money again to get new subscribers into a subscription service. So yeah, that's kind of how we fell backwards into watching Black Widow. We kind of wanted to go see it in the theaters, but then it wasn't such an investment to go see that one.
I don't think I watched it. I was just like, she doesn't even have a superpower. Like, how does she have her own movie, right?
It's like watching Jason Bourne, kind of.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot to that where things happened. Like things just happen. Like the helicopter does this and it does that, and then they survive because this was in the way, or this piece of metal was blocking such and such. You know, it's scenario driven, where the reasons why those things are happening because the person was intelligent enough to put themselves into a situation where they would come out in the end. It's kind of like the final reveal of a Mission Impossible thing.
Again, another series I watched once,
a whole nother one that's
like,
out.
and I didn't even keep. I know, isn't there like 6 or 7 of them now, or something?
Yeah, I don't know how they keep going.
I saw the first one, and I think part of the second one, and I never watched them anymore.
Fast and Furious, so I don't know.
Oh my god, how is that even?
20, 10,
how?
10,
how is that even?
10,
it's like
right? X. I think it was
it's
X
like Fast and Furious is like an iPhone release. There's one every year. It's like,
I know,
what?
But I mean, if there was like a car thing, like a nationwide kind of gang,
something that was just on your side, maybe.
Oh,
okay. Oh, you just got that. You just got that.
Kind of got that one. But you know, it's like it's unrelatable unless you're in that. I don't even think people who have cars or like are in those types of custom car making genre of the hobbyists that do the cars.
Right.
I don't see how they can relate to that one either because it's so outlandish as to some of what they do with cars.
Ridiculous.
So, yeah.
So
he jumps out of a car to go or gets thrown from a car into another car.
Straight through the window or
into the window
like
of that car to save what's her name. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to watch Top Gun Maverick. You got to watch
that. Oh my God. Seriously. Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, it's not. It's
jumps from one plane to another. Exactly. But again, the Black Widow was more, it's that unrealistic realism where it's so unbelievable that could even come to pass, but it's still in the realm of we didn't have to CGI it to make it work, or it didn't have to be something where aliens were the answer, or magic was the way they saved them, or it's because they don't have superpowers. None of them did.
Right. It's just like a regular movie about some.
Right. They just had a kind of an intuition about themselves where they kind of were like medicated with something. I don't know.
So I liked the Hawkeye limited series.
I did like that one too.
I thought that was great.
But again, the same scenario.
It was fun because it was
hurt.
like
things hurt when he lands, and in the next episode he's still hurt. It's not like it just magically healed, or,
like it
like the Batman.
Years of taking a toll on his body of being this,
Batman breaks his back and is able to climb out of a hole in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
I mean, come on. Really? So it's
Bane,
like that.
Bane
right?
breaks your back.
Breaks your back.
And you're like, now, give me 2 weeks and some Tylenol. I'll be fine. We're just going to
stretch you real tight. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I'll be back.
No. And again, that's that's a superhero movie, right? That's how that works.
Right.
Black Widow wasn't like that.
But neither was Bruce Wayne. He was just rich.
No superpowers either.
He was just rich.
He just had
the money,
the tools. He really just was wrapped around the tools.
Right.
Because the reason why he was able to fly the spoiler alert, he was able to fly the bomb out of Gotham.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because
I was like,
he
which
had
one
a
are we
plane.
talking about? I've totally forgot about like Batman movies.
Well, that was the
because
one
they're
where
like,
he,
which one was it?
So yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, was that? Oh, that was the same. Was that
right?
the same one?
The same one, right? Because then he comes back, saves Gotham from the bomb because Bane blew up the stadium and took over the Gotham.
What was the one?
The first one
was the Batman Superman one. Was that one at the end where Superman like takes the something and flies it back out to space and almost dies or something? Or I'm thinking of the wrong movie. I don't know. I'm just Marvel and DC, like the whole comic book movies.
Yes.
So Aquaman 2 comes out and they're like, oh, people are walking out of it. And like, because it's so bad. And I'm like, the first one was so fucking bad. And it made a shitload of money.
Yeah, because
up front,
everything was wrapped
Jason
around
Momoa and was like, oh my God, he's so hot. And this whole, like,
that was also before they had their Super or Justice League one. So you had to watch that one in order to get all the connections of who the bad guys were and actually Jason Momoa's whatever.
Right.
So then you can watch Justice League. Gotcha. But now there's nothing tied to that anymore.
Well, and it was just like, but when I didn't watch the first Aquaman until it was on Max. Okay. And I put it on and I watched it and I'm like, what in the fuck is going on here? Yes. This movie is so like, it just completely killed me because there's no sets. It's like literally just on a one big green screen the whole time that they're just going to walk in front here to make it because everything like, oh, now we're in the sea and we're doing this, but we're obviously...
We obviously have to because my hair's got to flow underwater.
It was like watching Star Wars Episode 1 when they went under the water to see the Gungan.
Yes.
And it was just like, okay, this is really like,
you definitely could tell that there was a bit of that going on. Yes.
Yeah. And but the first Aquaman, I thought it was just crap. I thought it was terrible, a terrible movie. And people like, I don't know. I don't understand. So,
people went to go see it. Right. So then you have to admit that a lot of that is because comics, right? Everybody has their favorites.
Everyone, right?
It was all tied together.
Right.
Look at what happened to all the Marvel shit after Endgame. You had this wonderful phase 1 and 2 and 3, right? Everything is tied together. It's this wonderful storyline. This piece works on that. That piece works on that. And it all fit together. It was a nice little puzzle.
Right.
You get past that and you can't do the puzzle again.
Right.
Or you try like they're trying to do and none of it works.
In the 80s they could.
Well,
because the 80s movies, they could make shitty sequels to everything.
4.
And Superman, Jaws 3D.
Jesus, yes. Now it's personal. There we go.
Make sequels that were like, they were shit, but we loved them.
We loved them. How many Friday the 13th
Maybe this just goes back to I'm too old again. I'm getting grumpy old man. These movies today, they just sucked, just like they did in the 80s.
Right. Well, they suck because they're like the 80s because they're the same fucking movie. I mean, how many times are they going to
reboot it? Let's reboot the franchise. That's one of my favorites. We're going to reboot the franchise.
They have to go through the whole thing again. I am glad the Spider-Mans didn't go through an origin story again. Every fucking time we got to find out that he gets bit by a spider. I kind of think that happens.
We know that that's Spider-Man.
I kind of know that Superman came from an exploding planet. I don't need to see it every damn movie. Start from we already know. We know the Superman story, and you kind of can do a throwback to it.
Everybody go back to 1979, Christopher Reeve Superman. Watch that one. There's your origin story.
Already got
and now just jump into the further adventures.
Well, that would already, but see, then you're starting from not page 1, right? You're starting from page 13, which the story actually is deeper, right? Yeah. You don't have to have all of that fluff, which I have a feeling that they're going to come out with an X-Men, right? A new X-Men reboot,
a reboot of X-Men.
We're going to find out all of the bullshit again on how these became, right?
Wasn't there one when they were kids? Or was that just Xavier when he was hanging out with the other group? That was just younger ones. It wasn't the other.
Yeah, that was
X-Men.
Him with hair.
Well,
right?
They want to save that
before
for
he lost
16 other movies.
Right. Yeah. We'll get him.
That nobody will go see because now people are like not going to the movies anymore because they're just like screw this.
Yeah. Yeah. And who's gonna house it? Paramount, Disney. I mean.
Right.
Now that Disney owns Fox, of course it's going to be there.
Yeah, Disney owns the world now. It's just like
every little piece.
Right. Trying to make it the happiest place on earth.
Ugh. Well, yeah. Don't get me started on that too.
So, does that annoy you?
Disney? Well, so our last trip that we went, Disney, of course, is trying to cut every corner. And I understand because they bought Fox and 80 billion or whatever it was. They gotta make that all back, and they haven't. So they're cutting every corner in the world. So when we went to Disney, the parks were dirty. Everything was a mess. The food was,
when was the last
lackluster.
Time
2021. Oh, okay. Yeah. And that was just sort of recently. But when we went, it was 2 years after the pandemic had, they were supposed to get back online. And look at all their failures. They lost the Star Cruiser, right? To a year and a half, maybe, that they gave that one. Yeah. So they gave that one a nice try, right?
Fucking expensive.
Who's $940 some bucks for a 2-day excursion, and you only got to go to one park.
Right.
And that was when they could tell you could go. I understand that if that was the immersive experience of it all.
Right.
But don't lock me in my damn hotel, for one, if that's what the thing is. I don't really know. I've never been, so I didn't know what the experience was. I'm saying that because.
And I honestly never did see much about it. So, like.
They didn't really sell it.
Was it?
And then everything you heard about it online, it didn't include the old Star Wars, only the new characters, but then they kind of got into Clone Wars, and it's like, okay, well, you guys are trying too hard, overthinking this. Right. It's just an immersive experience. You don't pull the shit when the Harry Potter stuff is immersive. Yeah. And you go, oh, wait, this is not supposed to be Fantastic Beasts, but oh God, we're going to include that too. Oh yeah. Okay, great.
Right.
No one throws that back, but you throw Star Wardites, or whoever you want to, how do you even call them? Whatever, Star Wars elites. They get into the canon, and the canon is so deep. It's books and it's everything. And it's like, okay, but just the generic people that wanted to do the immersive whatever, I don't think they cared, right? They just liked that was a thing. And they were having a problem with it. Wow. Like they couldn't just see like, oh, this is just Star Wars. Oh, it's so cool. Here's my kid. He's 9. He loves Star Wars.
We're sleeping in
watched Clone Wars. Here we are in this bunk bed of a room. Why the hell? You only had so many rooms. Why did you have to go so low scale on the rooms?
Right.
When
like you're really some Joe Schmo on a StarCraft.
You are a stormtrooper.
Your job.
You are a stormtrooper when you're on that hotel, because that place was definitely scaled down as far as how to stay in it.
Right.
And okay.
For military purposes.
But none of your rooms, even your cheap ass rooms that you have at Disney, the All-Stars and the lower cost.
What are they? It's not the economy resorts. What do they call it? Is it?
No.
It's moderate and
economy?
I guess it is.
Something? So. I can't even but whatever that one
anyway,
is.
Yes, right. The All-Stars.
The lower tier of the price range, right? Because the high end is insane, right? And that even gets crazier. But to charge $900 and some and
isn't it a night?
Even
per person?
$900 and some a night per person.
Per person.
Yeah. And if it was a family of 4, right?
You better be
you're in one
stinking
room
rich, and you're in one room, sleeping on double bunk beds like you're on a train.
Yeah, exactly. So. Right? And exactly. Well, I can honestly say I better get a better experience than what I got, which I don't think that people were getting it, because online they were pissed.
I heard nothing good or bad about it, and that's bad. Well, like if you hear absolutely nothing about it, and I've just
okay.
But I also didn't go searching.
Every time you turn around, ABC is hawking something Disney, right?
Right.
They weren't
like every other commercial break now is like, right? Stop by our parks now.
Right. Yes, of course. Or when it was the 100 year. I mean, there was a whole thing. They had a whole show at the parks. Okay, that's great. It's celebrating 100 years. Okay, great. The Star Cruiser's right there.
Right.
There was nothing in it. There was no discussion about it when it came out.
What do you do with that now? I mean, I know they'll repurpose it,
hotel,
but right.
Yeah, it's a giant piece of concrete that you have absolutely no reason to do anything with.
Right.
You could,
in such a short span of time.
You could put staff in it, maybe. That's kind of how you treat your staff with shitty hotel rooms, bunk beds.
Right.
Because you're not having business people come out, like clients or customers or business partners or anything like that.
And it's so funny because I see those things on YouTube where it's like, portions of park, that are now abandoned and stuff like that. But there was, the island one at Disney, that was only open for I don't know how many years, and then it was like shut down, and then it was like,
Cove.
and now, exactly, and now it's totally grown over now and stuff, and they don't even,
they can't have anyone go near it because the water has that flesh-eating virus crap.
Exactly. So it's
okay. So I say that, but again,
I don't know if that's true.
I don't know if that's completely true. It has been reported that
it could be Disney's way.
There.
We're gonna just say this, so stay away from it, people, because you'll get a flesh-eating virus.
Godzilla lives there.
No, so don't swim over to it.
or
because
you'll
if you get too close,
get eaten by the two-headed gator. But again, if you think about it, that's kind of how they handle stuff like that.
Yeah.
When they had Iger there the first time.
Iger, yeah.
That was from
Bobby O.
From what I remember, it was like 2013 was when he started, or I want to say 2005. Where he started. It was right after Eisner.
If anybody listening knows the dates,
yeah, please throw them out.
Gold star. There you go.
I watched.
We don't always know everything here.
On a complete other tangent, I watch a trivia show. It's
Jeopardy?
like a Jeopardy one.
Oh,
it's like a Jeopardy. It is like a Jeopardy one, but he does
I've
everything
heard of that,
Disney.
Jeopardy.
He's really good. He does everything Disney. It's Disney Jeopardy, and we watch it religiously. Shout out because he's really good in his delivery.
What is channel is this on?
God,
is it on Disney Plus?
It's a Disney. No, it's YouTube.
YouTube.
But
it's
a YouTube channel.
I've heard of it.
He does it like every week, and he comes up with different trivia questions. And of course, being a Disney file, the Disney, it's fun, but we kid because at the house there are some that don't have Disney on their,
right.
songs on their phone and stuff like that. So,
I don't even have Disney songs on my phone. Are you kidding me?
But again, we went almost every year too. So
true for a long, yeah.
And that being said, and we now have not gone for the last 2 years. It says a lot from that last trip that we were at.
Right. That it took it down a notch. And,
it was that bad.
We went in 2017.
Yes.
For over Christmas with the kids.
Yes.
And we had a blast. That was like so much fun because we had never done the whole Disney Christmas time, all this stuff, and when they closed the park for the but it actually wasn't for us.
Really?
Yeah, and it was that week before Christmas.
2017, really. And that was the week.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
I remember looking at the sign where Star Wars went in. And it was like, coming soon,
right,
the outfit, I had the picture of it. I was like, oh, it's going to be over there. It's going to be over there. I'm never going to get back and see it.
No, you'll get back. Trust me.
It's been 7 years.
It has.
So, yeah.
7.
Yep.
See, we went, and the last time we physically went with the kids and everything, because normally it's like my mom, Sid and Chase, and then we take Marley too. So it was 6 of us. 2019, for the New Year's of 2019, right into the pandemic.
Oh, right.
That was
yes,
the month.
I do. I remember that.
December, we were fine.
Yep.
January, everything went all haywire. We were there, and again, it was completely different because we had the meal plan. You get to eat like constantly, and the food was great. And the quality is great. And they took care of you. Yeah. The concierge that was right on top of you. You had staff, the hotel staff actually came and cleaned the room regularly. When we went just in the 2022 or 21, they only cleaned our room every 3rd day.
Oh,
and we were on the concierge
request
level.
That
you can request it, but then you can only request it every other day because they were short staffed.
I thought like at check-in they asked you if you were staying like that long a period of time. It's like they ask you, do you need service every day? That
wasn't the time then. Oh. They weren't asking that then.
Because when we went, I think they asked us that, and we're like, no, we've got we got 3 kids. Well, we're like said maybe just new towels, but we don't need the full coming in,
full blown,
fluffing
whatever.
the sheets and
whatever.
Either.
It was just me. It was me and Lisa, so we didn't really have to have the entire thing vacuumed and everything like that. But after 2 to 3 days, it got a little hairy in there. I mean, it just happens that you kind of she's got
just want to clean.
She's got hair. I don't, but she had hair. And when you're walking across a thing and then all of a sudden you've got hair on your feet, it's a little too,
right.
It's a little hairy.
It'd be great if someone came in and vacuumed.
Yeah, it might have been a good idea.
That would be awesome if someone came in and vacuumed right now.
Yeah. But then when you come in after a long and your bed's not made, that's another one where it's like, okay, wait, you kind of, some of the hotel stuff you just kind of.
When you go out, do you just like leave the sheets and stuff in a tussle or?
No.
I mean,
again,
back?
We kind of get it all put together.
Okay. Because we do too.
Like there was a chocolate left on the bed or anything like that either.
Like the turn down
service, right? Exactly. Which again, at concierge level, you're paying for that at the level, right?
Gotcha.
We were paying extra at that moment.
I've never stayed on the concierge
But that's what
level.
I'm saying. There is a bit of. My wife, Lisa, brings it up that she said, right now they're trying to actually go after the whales, the ones that spend a lot of money.
Getting the big one.
We stayed for a week on the concierge level, normally at the boardwalk, or not the boardwalk. What's the one on the yacht club right next to it?
Yeah.
Okay. And basically they have this little turret suite kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 4 beds in one area. We had 6 freaking people. There's no reason to bunk up my grandmother with the kids. So she had her own
because they're
little
married
space.
now.
Well, they are
That's
now. They
kinda
weren't
weird.
then though, right?
Yeah, I know they weren't
and
then,
then
but
Marley was
still.
with us too. So there was no reason to bunk her with Marley because they don't really
have their own space.
Right.
Absolutely.
So she had her own area, and it was like, okay. And it was a perfect room. It was great. It was a lot of money. I mean, and thank God my mom, were able to kind of combine and make that happen. But that being said, where we stayed was the Wilderness when we went in 21. It was not the same style. It was concierge level, but it wasn't that same level that we had
that you've had in the past when you've been there.
So again, and having done it a lot, you definitely see tailed off. The bathrooms were all dirty in the parks. People weren't, normally like before in 2019, you always saw 5, 6, 8 different people just sweeping everything.
Always someone with a dustpan and
or a management
broom
person, or someone not in costume or in just regular clothes, grabbing and picking something up off the ground.
Because
it was right there, napkin on the ground.
Yep, got it.
That was not happening. None of that was happening. And again,
so it was turning into Universal.
Small
Is
stuff.
that what you're saying?
Universal was a hell of a lot better when we went to Universal the last time we went.
Oh, I've never been to Universal. Well, I went to Universal in California 20 years ago, but I've never been to the one in Florida. So, because the last time we went down, then my wife took our son did the day thing.
Right.
When I took
the Potter.
I took the 2 younger kids to do, they went and did the Harry Potter, and I took
different experience.
I took Miles and Jilly to do Jedi training that morning.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
Yeah. Again, that part of it with Disney and then those types of events is cool. Harry Potter was all immersive. As soon as you crossed that line where you went into it, it was all that.
Right.
Like the owls were all blinking,
exactly.
And there was people walking around with singing frogs. I mean, everything was kind of all of that, right? And I mean, totally different experience in the way it's immersive. And then you go to the new area, which is the Diagon Alley, in the original park.
Yep.
Same thing. They definitely know how to do that. And I think that's where they're moving towards with this new Epic universe. You've heard about that, right?
Mm-mm.
So they found an area in Florida off of Interstate 4, and they bought, it was like, I want to say 85 some acres from Lockheed Martin.
Oh, okay.
They are now building something called Epic Universe, which will have a Fantastic Beasts land, How to Train Your Dragons land,
oh, cool.
Mario
They're
land.
redoing How to Train a Dragon.
Yeah.
Live
version?
I think,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Gerard Butler is coming back or something to do.
Yeah, he's the dad. But
he's
it's
the
a live
only
version,
one coming
right?
back, I think so.
Yeah, it's the live version, right?
I don't remember. I just saw the little clip thing, and I was just like, I was like, oh, cool. And I kept going.
I don't know why they have to do everything a live version. And then the Mario Land is going to have a Donkey Land behind it. So it's going to have the same thing that's in Japan right now. Because they have that too.
Gotcha.
And then a Monsters Land, which like Frankenstein, all the classics.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah.
That is so they can keep the licensing for that. So they don't have to keep doing movies. They can just hold the license by putting it in their parks.
We're using it on this thing and blah, blah, blah.
And then,
all that.
Yeah. And then, I think that was it. Is that all of yours? No. Yeah. But they're all going to have their own little lands and portals. And then there's a giant strip in the middle, which is going to have its own stuff too. There's a roller coaster off to the side. But again, this is huge. And we've been watching it since it was just dirt.
Right.
And we saw that they had bought this thing.
How long ago was that?
Oh my God. I would have to say 2 to 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
That they actually started breaking ground and actually building this stuff. They are getting well into it now. The coasters are two of the coasters are very put together. The portals to all the lands are there. The Mario World, which they've already done once, unlike Tron, where, it took them 3 years to build Tron. The Mario Land is pretty much just cookie cutter. It's the same kind of style. So they're putting it all together the same way. So they're flying on that one and they're really getting kind of far along on it. So they know what they needed to do. So they have all those people, but they also got everybody who left Disney during the pandemic. So they got all these other, all these like Imagineers who were want to build something and then now have a budget because Universal is just throwing tons at it, tons of IP. Absolutely. But it looks like they also have enough area in this one area. They're going to pull behind it a whole different large area of land. It looks like that what they could do is move all the administrative buildings there from the old parks, which would then now free up more land out there. More land to do stuff in the park that they have there. And And there's a... So you've never been there, but the Islands of Adventure is the other park. So you have the main Universal, right, which is all the studios, which is all the Mummy ride, the Jimmy Fallon thing. There's a, I want to say there's a Jason Bourne one there. It used to be a Terminator one. Oh, okay. Men in Black, Simpsons, they're all in that one area. So it's all kind of movie things. They have the Despicable Me stuff, and they just expanded the Despicable Me area across from that, which is a walkthrough ride, which everybody poo-poos on, but I have a feeling that that's kind of going to be how you make things immersive, is you don't put people in cars anymore. Them actually interact with shit. You put them in front of it. And that's a little easier and a lot more fun.
I would have to say, I can't just sit down and go, ooh, I'm driven through the.
Well, that's what that dumbass world. That's what they took the movie ride away.
Come on, I want to see
and made.
Oh yeah, the great movie ride and the hat and I've not been there since that opened.
Mickey and Minnie needed a ride, okay, and this ride we were on it because 2019 we were able to, or 2021 when we went. The kids didn't, but we did. But again, it's such a flat ride. Like there's nothing about it that's 3D. It's all on screens and stuff. And you're in the car and the car is interactive and blah, blah, blah. It's fun. But that being said, having it a lot more interactive, this is what they're going for now, is everything on screens and everything projected in front of you. It's not a ride anymore. It's watching it on TV. I physically could watch a video of it and it's the same ride. Right. So that being said, those types of scenarios are actually playing out because I think a lot of if you looked at what they did with Ratatouille in Epcot, same scenario, you're in a cat car. Okay. Yeah. That's a little cat or a little mouse. I'm sorry. It's a little mouse and you're running around.
Cat car.
I'm sorry. I don't
like a cat call. Cat.
Yes.
Can I get some fries?
You put them in a little Ratmobile. But that was it. Everything else was projected. Nothing was nothing was actual.
Less moving parts, a lot less moving parts.
But then they did Rise of the Resistance and everything about that was functional. Everything about that was the ride. I mean, you were in the car, you drove past the guns that were shooting, you drove underneath an AT-AT walker. They shot at you. They broke up the ceiling with effects. Those were physical
So it was
effects.
all like something that,
but getting away from the physical effects, it makes it not a ride anymore. All projection and everything, and that's great. Or
like I said, I can sit in my living room and watch TV and see that and be like,
Guardians of
it's
the
the same
Galaxy
exact
ride
thing.
is a roller coaster wrapped around a television screen. That was really all it was.
Gotcha.
You're in the roller coaster and the cars are moving around on screens. Everything around it is all projected on stuff. Nothing was physical.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different.
Which
so
one?
wait, Guardians of the Galaxy, was that?
They had they had the elevator ride in Disney World.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Where they took away the Twilight Zone Tower Terror out at Disneyland.
Right, in California. Yeah.
The towers are still at Disney World, the studios, but went ahead and moved.
So is that a different Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah. So in Epcot now, they put in one on the... So there's an argument that Epcot shouldn't be those types of rides, like thrill rides, like roller coasters, because everything about that was, here's the land, here's the imagination, here's the motion, and that's how it started. And Ellen's Energy Ride was what they took over. They eliminated the whole thing and made it like here's an interactive universe thing where we're interacting with space and I haven't watched the movies in a while, but the aliens from the movie, the Protectors, they are trying to recruit people, and that's what the whole theme is supposed to be, I guess. So you go into the ride, you ride the roller coaster, then Rocket has to take you away and you fly off and you're on the coaster now.
That's the Bradley Cooper rat,
yes,
right?
Yes,
okay,
yes,
gotcha.
yes, it is.
Which never to me sounded like Bradley Cooper. Like in the first one, they're like, "Oh, it's Bradley."
No,
I'm like, "Oh
it's
my gosh,
Bradley-
Bradley Cooper!" And I'm like, I know his voice, but that just something just doesn't.
Vin Diesel,
Right. I'm like, something just doesn't sound okay.
Well, everything is edited and played with, and I'm sure there's some kind of thing going on in the background to make it something sound, crisper or whatever. So yeah, of course they don't really sound like. You knew the genie was Robin Williams because that was the sound and it was him. You couldn't get away from that.
And it's Robin. You know Robin Williams' voice,
and that's
Absolutely.
an example, right? And those are the type of examples. Yeah. And there are some that are like that. Like you just can't go away from it. Like you kind of know when De Niro is talking in the background and stuff. When he's when he was the dumbass fish in that shark movie with Will Smith.
Oh, Shark Tale?
Yes.
Was that Shark Tale?
That was Shark Tale. You're
Shark
right.
Tale.
God
right.
damn.
Shark Tale.
But you know what I'm saying? You knew it was them and you knew that it was, and Will Smith was Will Smith. But again, in that scenario, you didn't really hear them in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where, that's where I kind of lose it. I'm like, you have this big name, but you can't really tell that that's the big name. And even still, you could have put anyone in that role. It still would have been the same thing.
They could have,
because they would have said the same line.
Like Paul Giamatti. If you put Paul Giamatti in Rockets.
That's tough. Or as Groot.
Groot doesn't say anything.
It just says, I am Groot. And they say it a specific way. But
I guess.
Yeah.
I watched the first one and I think I watched the second one. I don't remember. It was like the Transformers movies. Like the first one I watched, the second one.
Well, the second one was with Kurt Russell and he was the god and he was his dad.
I don't remember. I watched the second Transformer movie and then I was like,
oh, I don't
which
think
one
I've
had
ever
the talking
watched more
beetles in it? The two little VW Beetles. They were like, or no, those two little
Don't
cars.
look at me.
I don't know.
That's like Fast and Furious. With
I
me.
was
I
just
have
like,
not watched the
I was out
Transformer
after that. I
movie.
don't know if it was the second or third Transformer movie, but I was out after that. I was like, no. Oh, right, because I was on the treadmill. I was on the treadmill walking, and I had the movie on as I'm watching it. I'm like, thank God I'm watching it now because I would at least have,
you're trapped.
I'm doing
you
something
have to watch it.
right. I'm like, I'm not wasting more of my life on this.
Right,
I'm on a treadmill. Where else am I going?
Yeah,
so
your investment of time is more towards being on the treadmill than actually watching the movie.
Right, and it was just like,
and you couldn't walk away from it. So
right, because
it was
I'm
on,
walking just right at it. Exactly, and I'm like, well, okay, I'm going to clear it off the DVR after this. Do people still DVR stuff anymore? Everything is all streaming and everything now, which is fine.
It is what it is, right? Evolution.
Absolutely, but
I hate having we have to pay for 17 of them. I don't like that fact that I have to now figure out what I really want to watch and then pay for that one.
Pay for that subscription to watch it.
Right.
Have you watched The Bear on Hulu?
No.
Or it's on FX. I guess you can record it on your DVR and FX.
You got to have DirecTV, right? So, or you have to have a system that can record it, which would be a DirecTV kind of thing. So let's say I didn't have anything that did broadcast television. I would have to buy Hulu, right? Okay.
Yeah, so you'd have to buy
that's
Hulu.
That's what I think sucks.
But then if you bought Hulu, you can also get Welcome to Wrexham. So you'd have Welcome to Wrexham and The Bear, which The Bear's season 3 shooting now. Welcome to Wrexham.
But here's my thing.
Shooting now too.
Here's my thing. People who can't afford 15 different streaming services don't get to watch any of it. So how do you even get to those types of markets if you can't bring that up on a publicly watched television channel like a 5 or a 7 or a 9?
Like a major network.
Yeah. And even then cable becomes a problem. I mean, we still can't get any kind of signal with a rabbit ears or anything like that. We have to be connected somehow. There's no way of just getting a signal. Like they aren't broadcasting the signal like that anymore.
Because even like the high definition and those antennas and stuff, we're too far out of the city to pick up local network.
Even then,
yeah,
right.
We're still too far out.
I was way out.
Yeah, because I
think
it's like 20 to 25 miles is the range.
So I wouldn't have gotten anything unless Winchester was broadcasting it. And even still, I'm far enough away from Winchester and the mountains. I wouldn't have gotten it over the mountains.
Yeah, exactly.
So heaven forbid I wanted to watch anything. But that being said, I spent a crap load of money to get a satellite signal and got DirecTV. I spend a lot of money to have DirecTV and I barely watch it because I think a lot of my entertainment is YouTube and Netflix.
So we recently started switching over. We have Xfinity, Comcast, because that's all available in our area.
Right.
And, we have our internet, everything bundled, phone, internet, all that stuff.
Right.
So we just returned 3 boxes we had on TVs because the way that Xfinity works now, I think Verizon same thing. You have a central base unit,
DirecTV same.
and then you can have like
individual boxes for $5
that,
or something.
yeah, something extra. So
yeah, that's what we got.
We took 3 of those back to Xfinity, and actually I got Apple TV. On 2 different TVs,
right?
Because I was gifted one for my birthday this past year, and then
is that a one-time price?
It's a monthly,
and then
thing.
You've got a monthly.
It's like $4 or $5.99 a month, but you have to buy the box. But the box has like however many, 500 gigabyte, maybe not that much, hard drive space. So like you can use it kind of like it remembers what you want to watch, and
right.
all the stuff, and it's very cool. So we now put that on 2 of the TVs, and then the third TV we weren't even watching, but we were paying $10 a month for a set top box that was not even on TV
to add up exactly.
But with the Apple TV, so you pay for the subscription one time, not per box either. So you then connect it all in, and you're like, oh, okay, and you can watch that on any of your TVs, and but we still have our Xfinity. Because then I can now log in and I can see the local network stuff on the Apple TV, saying because I synced it with my Xfinity account. So So if there's anybody hackers out there looking, that I have Xfinity, that I have Apple TV, that it's all linked together.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some way to get into all of it.
Right. Yeah, and that you just need to get into one. You've got it all.
And now you can start taping the award shows.
So right, and actually watch them,
and then while you're on the treadmill, blindly watch them and then delete them.
Yeah, be like, oh, these award shows. So.
I think the only award show that I really would repeat watching is the one when Neil Patrick Harris does the theater ones.
That's the Tonys?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched the
You
Tonys either,
look that one up on YouTube, and it's him when he does
I remember,
those. He did something with Hugh Jackman once where they got together and were back and forth because they were
hosted. Hugh Jackman was doing something
before.
On Broadway too at that point.
Well, they were hosting. It was a hosting thing.
Oh, co-hosting.
Yeah, okay, yeah. They were. I hosted such and such. You hosted such and such. They was kind of back and forth. It was a kind of cool thing. But then his openings are really amazing. And the one when they did it with, I don't know the year, but they had all the different casts of all the different coming back from, I guess, a writer's strike or something like that. And they all were coming back from it. And it was an amazing compilation of everything but he's very talented in that respect.
But he can do that type
and
of
I've seen it where he's also been, I saw one where Kelly Kuko was doing something. It might have been a Golden Globes or something like that. And she was hosting, and she said, Neil Patrick Harris is in the crowd. And they went flashing to him, and he said, well, who are these 2 lovely ladies next to you? And they, of course, were all dressed up in sparkles and everything. And she goes, I can't believe that you think you're going to try to jump in and try to rehost. And he jumps up and tears apart his suit, and they started dancing and the music was going, and she was like, no, stop. So yeah, it was kind of fun, but it's a neat little play because he's really good at hosting, and he does. It wasn't as every time I've ever seen that going on, the awkwardness isn't really there because I don't think he's in that attack mode. Some comedians are all the time, or at least have to have that kind of, I got to be edgy kind of scenario maybe. But yeah, it was and of course, Neil Patrick Harris. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So
very, very likable.
Well, hopefully, I think maybe the Oscar nominations will be out this week.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that next week.
Yeah.
And do that.
And of course, we can go over
we can start getting
the disasters that were 2023, because there were a lot.
So many that I can't think of any of them because I probably avoided them like the plague.
Oh, I went through the list.
We've got the list. Okay,
we'll do
that next week.
But there had to be 20 or 30 that I just didn't even know that they even released them.
That they existed.
And they were within the top 20 grossing for the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
that's going to be interesting.
I cannot believe those titles existed.
We might need a whole separate podcast just on movies. Straight movies, nothing else. I don't know. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll get there. Let's get through this one first.
Yeah,
all right.
Of course. Yeah,
all right. We'll see you next week then.
Then we'll branch off.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Pern Dave, Let's Talk is brought to you by, Pern Dave. Enter sponsor name here. And enter sponsor name here. And the good people at enter sponsor name here. Till next time.